Here's how to double your CTR. I've designed thumbnails for Ali Abdaal, Nathaniel Drew, and other incredible creators. And in today's video, I'll show you why you've been thinking about thumbnails completely wrong. And don't worry, this video won't be generic advice like use saturation and have you looking shocked in the corner of the thumbnail. See, right now, you're not getting the views that you deserve, even though you've seen all the YouTube advice content that there is. And you're probably spending your time making thumbnails that are underperforming. Or if you haven't posted yet, you're probably wondering, what should I actually put in my thumbnail? Because every single person seems to give conflicting advice on what should go in a thumbnail. See, the YouTube algorithm cares about three main metrics. Your CTR, which is your click-through rate, your AVD, which is your average view duration, and session watch time. And most likely, the thing that's holding you back is your CTR, your click-through rate. And this generic thumbnail advice that you hear isn't just unhelpful, it's actually making your videos perform worse. So if you want to make YouTube videos full-time, then the thumbnail design process is one of the most important aspects of this journey. But most of you are pushing it aside to do the, quite frankly, more fun thing, which is to make videos. But if no one is actually clicking on that video, then you can't afford to keep making videos. Now, having gone through a bunch of small channels in my Thumbnail Roast series, most of you have really good videos, but your YouTube packaging, aka your thumbnail and your title, is what's holding you back. People just aren't clicking on your thumbnails. So ignore the tactics that you hear, like saturation and use a red background and look shocked and use your logo, all of that stuff. Ignore that advice, because what you need is a clear understanding of the psychology of thumbnails, not these cheap, easy tactics that don't work. Because if you take advice like look shocked in the thumbnail, but you think, wait, I don't click on thumbnails where someone's standing in the corner looking cartoonishly shocked. Well, then obviously that advice was bad advice, because these tactics can just be thrown out there and they're only going to apply to like 1% of thumbnails. You need advice that applies to every single thumbnail that you make, not design advice that is sometimes applicable, because that's really difficult for you, because then you think, wait, do I use a red background in this one? Wait, do I have my logo in this one? And that's not a reliable thumbnail design system. So in this video, I'm going to walk through the shop front method. And this will completely change the way that you think about thumbnails. And by the end of this video, thumbnails won't be this mysterious thing that no one can seem to figure out. You'll know exactly what to put in the thumbnail for every single video that you make going forward. All right, most people, when they talk about thumbnail design, they make it way too complicated. Thumbnail design isn't actually that complicated. If screenshots can go viral, then it's obviously not that complicated. But people aren't understanding the psychology of thumbnails, they're just looking at these tactics. So I wanted to start off by talking about a shopfront analogy, the shopfront method. Because if you can understand this, then hopefully you'll look at thumbnails very differently, and it won't be like this mysterious, ooh, what should go in a thumbnail? It will be like, oh, I know exactly what I should put in the thumbnail. Which is the feeling that we want every time you sit down to design a thumbnail. All right, so just stick with me for this analogy. You're walking down the street, and there on the street you see this antique store. And in the window there, you see antique furniture. And you think, I need some antique furniture. That looks great. And you walk into the store, and then the first thing you see is a stand that has diapers on it. And you think, wait a minute, I thought I walked into an antique store. That's a diaper. That's not what I want. And then you look onto another stand, and it's like milk. And you're like, what? This isn't antiques. I thought this was antiques. So you leave. That's what most of you are doing with your thumbnails. So basically, what you're doing is you're making a promise in your thumbnails that you're not actually living up to in your video. And what's going to happen is your average view duration will tank dramatically, because people might click onto the video, but then in the first 2 seconds, aka the first stand or whatever they see in the shop, is not what they thought it would be. So then they leave immediately. So what you need to do when designing your thumbnail is ensure that the first 1 second or the first 3 seconds is living up to the promise that you make in the thumbnail. So if I'm window shopping and I see antique furniture, when I walk into the store, I want to see more antique furniture, because that's why I walked into the store. Now, what I said there helps with your average view duration, not your click-through rate, but it will all tie together, because now that you understand the first few seconds has to line up with what's in your thumbnail, now you know what to put in your thumbnail. So if you're an antique store, then in your window, put antique furniture. If you make videos about soccer, then put a soccer ball in your thumbnail. If you make videos about coffee, I have a coffee next to me. If you make videos about coffee, then make sure you have coffee in your thumbnail. You want the thumbnail to reflect exactly what the video is about. Basically, what I'm saying here is you want the items in your thumbnail to reflect what the video is about. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see time and time again with thumbnails. The first thing you need to understand with this shopfront method is what items to put in your shopfront. All right, now comes some controversial advice. See, most people that talk about thumbnail design, they say, hey, have bright red colors and vibrant blue and rainbow. But do you know who clicks on that? Probably kids. So if your target audience isn't, 7, then don't do that. Because if your target audience is 50-year-old lawyers, they're probably not going to click on a bright red thumbnail with, rainbow sparkles. That's not who's clicking on those types of thumbnails. So we'll stick to the shopfront analogy. Now we know what items are going to go in your shopfront. You're going to have a soccer ball, you're going to have a coffee cup. Whatever your video is about, you're going to find the items that are relevant and you're going to put that in the thumbnail. Now we need the shopfront's exterior to attract your target audience. So if your target audience is, let's say, wealthy 50-year-olds, then you might use, a lot of muted colors, grays, blacks, whites, very toned down and muted, as that gives off a luxury vibe. Or let's say you're Mr. Beast. Hi, Jimmy. If you're Mr. Beast, then your target audience is, I don't know what his average age is, let's say it's 12. If his average audience is 12 years old, they're probably going to want very vibrant colors. He probably won't want these muted colors. See, the more muted colors probably attract an older demographic, whereas these bright, exciting colors attract a younger demographic. So with the shopfront method, we now know the items that are going to go in your shopfront, and we know the colors and the design style of your shopfront. So the items are to reflect, hey, what's this video about? And we know the colors and the style of your shopfront. That way your target audience knows, hey, is this video aimed at me? AKA, is this shopfront for me? Or is this shop designed for someone else? All right, now comes the next bit of designing your shopfront. So we know what the colors are, we know the style, we know what items are going in the window there. The next thing we need is a logo. And basically logo design is picking a font. So what you're going to do now is pick the right font for your thumbnail. And a font will tell the audience exactly the vibe of your video. So here's what I recommend you do. Go on Google Fonts. Google Fonts is probably the best font website, in my opinion. So go on there and think, what is the vibe of my video? So a video like this one that I'm making now, this isn't like a very fun entertainment video. This is reasonably professional and serious, and I'm just giving you information, basically. So if my thumbnail has a really fun, silly font, so if you actually click on the thumbnail, then you're going to be like, hey, that's not the vibe that I expected from this video. You need to find a font that matches the vibe of your video. This will do two things. It will increase your AVD, your average view duration, because when people click on it, it's going to be the video that they expected, but it will also increase the CTR of your target audience. So your target audience, the exact people that you want watching your video, they will see this font and think, that's speaking to me, so I will click that. And the more of your target audience that are clicking on this video, the higher your CTR will be, because YouTube will know, hey, a lot of 50-year-old accountants are watching this video. I'll show this to more 50-year-old accountants. And the more 50-year-old accountants that are seeing this video, the higher your CTR will be. So what you need to do with your thumbnail is think, okay, with my video, what is the kind of vibe that I give off in this video? Is it a super fun, playful, non-serious video? Then I'm going to choose a very different font choice to if it's a serious sit-down video where I'm talking about health issues, for example. These are very, very different vibes, and the font choice needs to reflect that, aka the store's logo needs to reflect that. All right, now that you understand the shopfront method, let's jump into Canva Draw, and I'm going to show you exactly how you should think about the first 3 seconds of your video by utilizing what we learned from this thumbnail. Because if your thumbnail and the first 3 seconds of your video don't correlate, then all that effort that you've put into designing your thumbnail is a complete waste of time. All right, this here is Canva Draw. So let's say you have a 10-minute video, right? And then this here is the first 3 seconds. Now, what you need to do here is crucial. Please, please do this. So if someone clicked on your thumbnail, they want to see what is in that thumbnail. So give them that thumbnail in the first 3 seconds. And the reason I say 3 seconds is because most likely you're doing an ABC thumbnail test. If you don't know, in YouTube Studio, when you upload a video, you can do an ABC test to see which performs best. If you're not doing that and you are uploading videos, mate, you got to jump onto the ABC thumbnail test. All right, let's say you design 3 thumbnails here. 1, 2, 3. Here are your 3 thumbnails. put whatever is in here, put that here at the front. So in this thumbnail here, let's say it's you and you're holding a soccer ball. That's you holding a soccer ball. Have you holding the soccer ball as the first second of the video. Because then they're like, hey, that's what I clicked on. And now I'm looking at that thing that I clicked on. That's what people want as a thumbnail. Now this will help your average view duration, but it will also help you with your CTR. Because now that you understand the shopfront method, you know what items should I have in the thumbnail and what font and design should I have in the thumbnail. And this is why you need to design your thumbnail first. See, most people think about thumbnails completely wrong. They are thinking that these small tactics is the thing that's going to get someone to click. See, the reason people aren't clicking is because they don't understand what your video is about, and they don't understand if they're the person who's meant to be watching it. Like, has this video been made for them in mind? Once you can fix that, your click-through rate will increase and your average view duration will increase. So stop thinking about thumbnails in such a confusing and like mysterious way. It's not that mysterious, you're just designing a shopfront. Who is this shop for? Who's the target audience of the store? And what does the store have when you walk in? What's in the store? If you can make that clear, then you have a great thumbnail. Now, if you're struggling with this stuff and you want some more help, I have a thumbnail design masterclass. It covers my YouTube title formula, my thumbnail design formula, and my thumbnail design process. These are the 3 things that are going to dramatically elevate your YouTube packaging. Because as you know by now, if no one clicks on your video, then no one watches your video. If you're interested, the course is linked in the description. If you're tired of this generic thumbnail design advice with cheap tactics that sometimes work and sometimes don't, then you're going to like my course. It is about the fundamental psychology behind getting someone to click. Again, the link is in the description. Or if you want to see me design a thumbnail from scratch, then click on this video here where I actually film the entire process of designing a thumbnail. Thanks for watching. Click on this video here.